Let's talk about imposter syndrome. I received a message from somebody I know, and I'm going to keep her identity anonymous, but it is such a good question that I just had to share. So the question is as follows. So I stepped away from dogs for a while. I was burnt out, and I was dealing with imposter syndrome. But I've missed it, and I want to get back into it. I want to overcome it, so I'm getting back into it. I guess just what's some advice with starting back up? I'm definitely not going to be overwhelming my schedule, but accepting a few clients at a time. I'm just mainly trying to get over the feeling of not being as good of a trainer as I know I can be. Wow, and that is such a loaded question. Look, guys, imposter syndrome. If you are a decent human being, you're going to have imposter syndrome. I want you to be very aware of that. Who has imposter syndrome? The people who want to give their very best, but feel that they're just short of that. Okay, that's the people that get imposter syndrome, which means most people that want to give the very best, but know they're just shy away from that. Okay, they will deal with imposter syndrome. You know who doesn't have imposter syndrome? Arrogant people. Right? Very arrogant people. And now you see these people, these arrogant people in all walks of life. If you go to a dog training Facebook group, you're gonna see a lot of these freaking arrogant, just egotistical, narcissistic people that think they are God's gift to the dog training community. Right? There are so many of those people. Now, do you think those people have imposter syndrome? Probably not as much as you and I. Okay, if you have imposter syndrome, you have to think of it as it's actually kind of a gift. You are actually a decent human being. And the thing is, you're never going to be good enough. And I'm telling you that as a compliment. You will never be good enough. Never. The moment you are amazing and you're done improving, the moment you say, this is it, I've reached the pinnacle, this is as good as I'm going to get, you're done. Okay, there is going to be a problem there. But you are always in this linear journey of improvement. Okay, when I say linear, obviously improvement and learning is not just straight uphill. There are going to be some dips. You are going to have some bad experiences. You are going to sometimes not do well. You're going to fall short of the expectations. You're going to disappoint yourself. You're going to disappoint some clients occasionally. And all of these things that just keep digging at you, telling you you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. These are the very things that make you a good trainer. And that's as good as we're all going to get. Good. You will never be the best. Now, I've made an episode before where, I feel like you really should feel like you are the best mother effing trainer in the room. I always believe that, okay? I believe that, but that doesn't take away. It's not a contradiction to what I'm telling you. Just because I want to have this healthy self-image of what I can bring to the table, it doesn't mean that deep inside, I'm not aware that I can improve. And that's the thing. You're never done improving. Some of the most amazing people that I've talked to in dog training, okay, even in off conversations, not in interviews, but just in conversations, they've told me how even to this day, they're now realizing they don't know everything. And how when they were younger, they thought they knew. And now they realize that they don't quite know as much as they thought they did. And they're still learning. And their teachers are not necessarily other dog trainers, but some of these guys, their teachers are the dogs. Like they're really paying attention, right? They're learning and unlearning things that they thought they knew. But all of that to tell you that imposter syndrome will never go away. You're always going to feel just a little bit inadequate. Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me ramble on some dog training stuff. If you're enjoying it, do me a huge favor and share it with somebody else that you think could find it useful. If you are hating it, let me know. Okay, I'm open to criticism. Write me a comment, tell me how to improve. And if you love it, also let me know. I love to hear that. I want to make sure that I bring as much value to you as I possibly can. I want to add to your day. So again, share it with somebody. Let me know how I'm doing. Now let's get back to the episode. Okay, you can definitely, put your game face on and go, I'm freaking the best that there is. And this is the best product that this person is going to get. Now I give myself that pep talk every time. But I'm telling you, I myself, to this day, I'm always asking myself, did I do right by this client? Could I have trained this dog a little bit more? Could I keep this dog an extra week? Right? Could I have done an extra few training sessions per day? Could my training sessions have been a little bit longer? Where would the dog be if I had just given that extra training session each day? And then I scratch my head and I go, is this dog at a level that I feel proud of? Is this dog at a point where I know that this dog is amazing? And a lot of the times it's not. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter your level of experience, because here's the thing. You might have less experience than me. You might have only been doing this for 2 years, and I've already been doing it for 15 years plus. So in comparison, you've been doing it for 2 years, I've been doing it for 15. This means that I have more experience than you. But if you give way more training sessions, if you commit a lot more to the client, if you commit a lot more to that dog, and I only get by with like a couple of training sessions a week, which would be the shittiest thing to do. But let's say that's what I was doing, right? I have a dog for boarding and training, and I'm only training that dog maybe once a week, and you're training the dog 4 times, 5 times a day. Well, experience doesn't matter. At that point, what's happening is you're given a lot more than I am. So regardless of the fact that I have way more experience than you, the fact that you are given way more, that's the equalizer. That's the thing that is making your training sessions more relevant to the dog. And it's also giving you the experience. So it's really speeding up your learning curve. But the very fact that you're giving way more than I am giving the person who has, a lot more experience. And I find that a lot of times that's what happens. A lot of the experienced, amazing, self-proclaimed amazing dog trainers out there, and you see them, God, it's such a turnoff. I'm part of some of these groups, and I don't even know how I became part of half of some of these groups. I'm like, how did I become part of this group? It's like I've been part of these groups for like years, and every once in a while I'm in the feed, and I open Facebook, and it's like the first thing on my feed, and I'm like, what is this? What is this group? And there'll be some person over there very confidently and arrogantly basically implying that their way is the best possible way, and the way in which they say it, it's not even true. And all you do is you just have to kind of pick it apart a little bit, look and run it through a logical test. And you're like, the math is not mathing. It doesn't make sense. But to them, they're convinced, right? So when you see that, it is such a turnoff. And you're like, what are you doing all day other than, telling people how amazing you are? You're definitely not putting as much effort. You're not putting in the hours as some of these other guys are doing. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, the more you give, the more your confidence increases. So I might not feel comfortable with the product that I'm giving. So just to answer the question that this person gave me, right? If I give way more value to that client, if I give that client way more than the person with the 15, 20 plus years of experience, that's another equalizer. That's the thing that increases my confidence. In other words, look, I might have that dog for 3 weeks. You might have the same dog for 3 weeks. And me with a little experience can get to a certain point in 3 weeks. And you with your a lot of experience, with your decades of experience, you can get a lot farther with that dog in 3 weeks. I'm just making a hypothetical example here. There are variables like temperament and all of that stuff that are part of the equation here, but I'm just making a simple example here. Well, if you have way more experience, you can get a lot more done in those 3 weeks than I can. But if I give a lot more to my client, if I go above and beyond, if I serve as much as I possibly can, if I'm on top of things, if I'm following up, if I'm asking my client, how's everything going? If I check with my clients weekly, if when I have the dog, I'm sending the client daily updates, daily pictures, all of that effort and all of that giving will raise my confidence, and it will make me feel much better about the product that I'm putting out, because I know that you, with your decades of experience, you feel like you're too good, to the point where you think you're so good, so right, that even the owners are wrong. You're not going to give anything, because the problem is you think that people should feel blessed and lucky to even be working with you. That's what happens with these people that think they're amazing, that think that they're God's gift to the world. That's what will happen, and they're just not going to give, because they already feel like they've given enough, because they gave their client the opportunity to work with them. You've seen people like that. If you work with dogs, if you've been in this industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're new to the industry, you're going to see it. You're going to see people that are so full of themselves that they believe that they're just the shit. And when a client works with them, like that is the client's like most amazing experience. They're like, oh my God, you should feel lucky that I accepted you, that I gave you a spot. And although there is a time and a place for that, the person with all of that attitude and all of that experience will always fall short to the underdog that only has 2 years of experience. Hypothetically, you might have more, you might have less. But what that person will give in comparison to the experienced guy, if you give a lot more, okay, you will have more confidence. You'll be proud of the product that you are presenting, that you're producing, and your clients will definitely love you. They will love you. Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to talk a little bit about New Vet Labs. It's a pet supplement company that has been around since 1997. That is almost 20 years, and they've never had a recall. This company is freaking amazing. Their products are made in the US, and they're made with natural human-grade ingredients. That's freaking awesome. So I've been giving these products to my personal dogs. I have very active athlete dogs. All of my dogs work, from the youngest dog all the way to the 11-year-old dog. He's still going pretty strong. He's still sprinting. Very, very active. Looks very good for his age. Now, my dogs are on a raw diet, but even on a raw diet, your dogs still need supplements. Now, if you're feeding your dogs kibble, they definitely need supplements. So these supplements, again, they're amazing, guys. I've been using them on my dogs. Some of my clients are using it. If your dogs are not on it already, you need to get started right away. Okay, awesome product. Go to nuvet.com/989420. That's NUVET.com/989420. Now, once you go on there, select your products. When you make it to the checkout page, you have to enter customer code 989420. So you have to remember that so that you can start your account, and get your dog started on it as soon as possible. All right, guys, let's get back to the episode. Now, if you combine the experience with the giving attitude, if you combine the experience with the give, the checking up with the clients, sending them, forget about weekly, sending them daily updates, or updates every other day or a few times a week. And then on top of that, you follow up and you give a lot. I promise you, your confidence will go up. But that little voice will never go away. Okay, that little voice that tells you you're not good enough, just realize it's actually a good thing. It will push you to be better. It will push you to want to give more. When you don't hear that voice anymore, you need to watch out.